local all morning. You're watching Fox 61 Morning News.
Now at 6, big day in Hartford as the Connecticut General Assembly will convene for the first day of its 2026 legislative session, and Governor Ned Lamont will give his State of the State address later on tonight. We want to say good Wednesday morning, and thanks for joining us on Fox 61, Fox 61 Plus. I'm Bridget Bjorlo.
And I'm Erica Arias. A lot going on today. We're glad you're checking in. And we got a lot to get through. First, though, we're talking about weather because we've got another nice day on tap.
Yeah, today's going to be nice and bright, as well as, well, at least warmer. I use
milder.
I use these quotation marks, right? Yeah, exactly. So yes, it is warmer out there this morning. It's by no means warm, but we have temperatures that are averaging anywhere from 10 to about 20 degrees warmer than this time yesterday. 18 degrees warmer in Danbury, 17 in Hartford, and 14 degrees in Windsor Locks. 21 right now out the door in Hartford. It's 27 in New Haven, Chester at 27, 17 in Torrington now, and 19 degrees in Danbury. And we don't have a lot of wind to talk about this morning too, so what you see is kind of what you get outside. It's partly cloudy this morning. We will see temperatures move up into around 30 to about 32 degrees this afternoon under sunny skies, so a good amount of sunshine throughout the day as well. It might be a nice afternoon to go for a walk. 32 in Milford, a little bit cooler, colder in Litchfield at 26 degrees, 31 in Hartford, 29 degrees in Pomfret, and 31 in Ledyard towards the casinos. Griswold at 31 as well. So dressing for the upper 20s and lower 30s throughout the day with winds 5 to 15. For tomorrow, we're going to start off in the single digits, so a colder start. Temperatures get up into the 30s in the afternoon. We're in the single digits for Friday, and then we have numbers back up to around 32 in the afternoon for Friday under a decent amount of sunshine. Over the weekend, though, we are talking about dangerous colds that moves back in. It drops off on Saturday, more so for Sunday with some of the coldest air moving in. We have temperatures anywhere from 0 to 5 below. That will be the actual air temperature. And when you factor in the wind chill values could get down to 15 to 35 below. So really dangerous stuff over the course of Sunday morning and Sunday afternoon. We'll talk about where we go from here. We'll walk you through this hour by hour coming up in just a bit. And we'll talk about how long this bitter cold is expected to last. At 6:02 right now, we did have some earlier road work in the Middletown area. That has largely cleared for the morning commute, which is certainly some good news, but we do have this hazard on 84 westbound. This is going to be out by exit 54 this morning. It is blocked off at this point. It looks like they are clearing. Unfortunately, I'm not quite sure exactly what is going on here, but crews are out there as they work on working on whatever hazard is out there now. So give yourself a little extra time in the area as you will need to use a different off ramp to get around it. Bridget.
All right, Rachel, thanks for the heads up there. And at 6:03 this morning, this is happening today. The next legislative session is set to begin today, and lawmakers will convene for the next couple of months to deliberate new bills.
We're checking in with Fox 61's Joe Monty. He has a preview of one of those new possible bills. Joe, tell us a little bit more about it.
Good morning. Yeah, look, as you mentioned, lawmakers are going to be back here at the Capitol this morning for the legislative session. And one of those bills, if passed and made into a law, could affect people in the state, could be close to home, especially for parents and for parents with young children or teens. Over the last several years, children have become more and more addicted to social media, and lawmakers, including Governor Lamont, are pushing for a new law that stops social media companies from exposing children to addicting algorithms. The new law could also create new parental control and privacy settings and restrict the amount of time children could use social media. It could also limit the number of notifications children receive, as well as when they receive them. Social media companies will also have to report how many minors are on the app and how much time they spend on the app, whether they have parental consent. I did speak to some people yesterday afternoon about this new proposal, and some thought it'd be a good idea to have more safety restrictions for young people on social media, while others thought the new law would be ineffective. Take a listen.
Our population now is being infiltrated by a lot of offshore influences. I think that if we can protect our children and at least give them a foundation of what's good and what's bad, I think it's a step in the right direction.
To be blunt, I think it's ridiculous because they already have child safety rules on Instagram, parental stuff. I know growing up, my mom, she wanted me to do that. Kids will find a way. They'll find a way to still open that up.
Now, later today, we're going to hear from Governor Ned Lamont in his State of the State address, and we're also going to be continuing to talk about some of the goals that lawmakers have for this legislative session. For now in Hartford, Joe Monti, Fox 61.
Joe, thanks. And Joe just mentioned the State of the State address, and that's happening at noon today. Governor Ned Lamont is going to lay out his vision for Connecticut. So we're going to bring you the State of the State address live on Fox 61 and Fox 61 Plus. Be sure to tune in to catch the decisions that could shape the year ahead.
Well, at 6:05 this morning, another Connecticut town is cracking down on drivers who illegally pass school buses.
Last night, the Vernon Town Council passed a new ordinance to fine drivers who break the law.
Fox 61's Glenn Kittle joins us live with the latest on the new laws. And Glenn, there are quite a few of them.
Yeah, good morning, Bridget, Erica. The town council voted unanimously to have those school bus cameras implemented in their school system. And many people came out last night to talk about some of the reckless driving behaviors that they've seen people commit on the roads when around those school buses. People blowing through those stop signs has been a problem here in Vernon, and people voice their opinions about it for sure. Now, we know that the school bus cameras that are being implemented are just like the ones that we've seen throughout many communities in our state. They're going to have license plate scanners on there, and if you're caught blowing through the school bus stop arm, you'll be hit with a $250 fine. Now, all the money that's collected from those fines will go towards the town's public safety fund and camera maintenance. Now, people at last night's meeting were largely in favor of those school bus features. Take a listen.
I just want to say I'm retired from the state transit after 32 years and driving the buses, tandem buses and everything, and we have cameras everywhere on the buses, and they do work. Anything that we can do to help protect our kids, one incident is too many incidents, in my humble opinion.
Now, there's no set timeline as to when these cameras will be implemented. We know that the town council and the school bus camera company have to agree on a contract first. We'll be sure to keep you updated on when we hear more about a potential contract agreement. Live in Vernon, Glenn Kittle, Fox 61.
All right, Glenn, thanks so much. Appreciate the update there. Middletown Public Schools is on the hunt for its next superintendent. The New England School Development Council is holding a community and parent focus group tonight. The council says the goal of the meeting is to get feedback from staff, parents, and members of the community on what experiences and skills the next superintendent should have. They will also be holding focus groups throughout the month. Right now, there's still no timeline for when the next superintendent will be selected. Dominic Jimerson heads to court today. He's a school bus driver that is accused of not breaking up a fight on his bus route involving 12 children. He was driving kids from South Windsor to Hartford when police say he failed to intervene while the middle school students fought. And also, we are told that sexual assaults took place on the bus as well. The bus company says that Jimerson did file a behavior report following the incident and then refused to drive that specific route again. The bus company ended up terminating his employment. The Connecticut Science Center is reopening today after reports of a burst pipe on Saturday. Leaders say the damaged pipe was repaired immediately, and all affected areas are now clean and dry. We're told no exhibits were impacted by the burst, and at this time there is no word on what caused it. The search continues in Arizona for 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie, the mother of Today co-host Savannah Guthrie. Investigators say they believe she was taken from her Tucson area home against her will sometime overnight Saturday. Investigators also say they found dried blood near Guthrie's front door. Right now, Savannah Guthrie is in Arizona with a private security team as the investigation continues.
Police in Maine have identified 4 of the 6 people killed in last month's plane crash at Bangor International Airport. The victims include 3 people from Texas and 1 from Hawaii. The Office of the Chief Medical Examiner is still working to confirm the identities of the remaining 2 victims. The crash happened January 25th when a jet went down shortly after takeoff, caught fire, and came to rest upside down. Federal investigators with the NTSB and the FAA remain on the scene as this investigation continues.
An inmate at the Garner Correctional Institution was found unresponsive in his cell early Monday morning. This is according to officials in Newtown. They say correctional staff began life-saving measures before the individual was taken by ambulance to the hospital. That's where he was later pronounced dead. The Department of Correction and Connecticut State Police are now investigating. At this time, no additional details have been released. A Millbury, Massachusetts police officer was shot multiple times by a suspect yesterday by a barricaded man. The suspect had barricaded himself inside the Family Dollar store on Route 9 in Spencer. After a standoff with tactical units, the suspect was shot and killed by police. The officer, who is part of the regional SWAT team, remains hospitalized but is reported to be in stable condition right now.
And at 6:10 this morning, West Thompson Fire Department says one of their UTVs was stolen sometime over the last few days. Firefighters say they realized this happened from a locked building yesterday when it went missing. They say it's a red and black 2012 Polaris. It's an essential piece of equipment used in a variety of emergency calls. State police are now handling the investigation.
Well, more than a week after the winter storm, several bus riders in Hartford are voicing their concerns.
Yeah, they say some of the bus stops on Washington Street have yet to be cleared of snow and is causing some big problems. While the sidewalks along the street are mostly clear, several bus stops are not. Some people have been seen waiting in the street just to catch the bus. One man we spoke with says he's worried about his nephew's safety.
Someone could easily get hit, and me being my nephew, I had to really be well attentive because you see all these cars flying down the street. It's not safe for anybody.
Fox 61 did reach out to the city, who says they're working as quickly as possible to clear the more than 1,200 bus stops throughout the city.